Good morning. Welcome to the NCCR podcast. I'm DeVandis Smith, and beside me is my co-host,
Kim Matson.
Welcome. All right, obviously not. DeVandis he is here, but he's not, like here.
Yeah. He is, we're joking. Don't pay attention to the man behind the curtain.
He had a little whoop-de-doo done, so he's benched for a couple weeks or more, or maybe, who knows how long. Really.
Who knows? Yeah. Or peace.
Totally butchered that. And speaking of butchering, I am going to butcher that by giving it my own title, which is Focus.
Focus. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we need that reminder.
We do.
This time of year, especially.
Yep. Well, Steve started with talking about fear, because fear, of course, is one of the biggest motivators of people's movements, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
There is a fear factor in living a godly life, or any life for that matter. But he talked about how fear is used to move us to action, and like all the other things, we're always bombarded, even this lovely season that we're in, this glorious season that we're in. We're bombarded with messages of negativity and, how many, just all the things. You can't not see stuff like
It's
that.
Constant now.
It is.
It's constant with the internet, with social media, the news, all the access we have. It's insane. It's really hard to get away from.
It is. Unless you just stop doing those things, you can't get away from it.
And I will say that I did that. I think I told you this.
Yeah.
Like a couple months ago, I totally detoxed social media and I don't watch the news. So I was oblivious, and it was glorious. But I was really oblivious. I had no idea what was going on in the world.
Yeah. I think a healthy break every once in a while is not a bad idea.
I highly recommend it.
But, he asked the question too, what do fearful people need? And the answer is peace. And we all know where that can be found, right? And
it's easier said than done, right?
It is easier said than done. Yeah, it is. It's all the things that we talk about, not just here on this podcast, but all the things that we discuss, life group and just in church and just in general are, why do I do the things that aren't God-serving?
Right.
I always get in the way of listening to his word, because his promise never changes. He doesn't go anywhere.
Right.
We just modify the plan.
Why do we do that?
Modify the plan.
Why do we do that as humans? It's so easy to get caught up in ourselves, thinking that we can fix it, or we can do it, or if we just push through, or rely on the things that aren't going to bring us peace. And I think, as Steve said yesterday, it actually causes us more stress.
Yeah, because we try to medicate it away, or drink it away, or, any compulsive behavior away, try to control things, try to manage things, try to exert our power over things and people, perhaps even. We isolate ourselves. We do all sorts of things. But in the end, it does just cause more stress.
Right.
If you just let those things go,
yes,
and relinquish that control thing that you think you have going on, then that's where your peace will start to be more noticeable, and you'll start to feel it more.
Right. And we're not sabotaging God.
Exactly.
I feel like when we do that, we're sabotaging God's plan for us.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Because it's like when you have children, for example, it's like, how many times did I tell you that thing?
Right. Oh, gosh.
My message doesn't change.
Yes.
It's the same thing, and you're going to get a result that's pleasing to both of us if you just do the thing I said.
Absolutely.
Again, also child rearing, if you don't do the thing that we've laid out for you, you will have a consequence to that.
Yeah. I guess the repetition doesn't go away as we age.
No, it doesn't seem to. Well, and how does faith then become how you respond to fear, right? How do you put that into practice?
Well, I think something that we've been constantly reminded of is that we're not called to be passive, but it's like an active choice to trust God. And so we just need to follow through on the things that we already know to be true, like spending time in God's Word and remembering who He says that He is, and that He is good and faithful, and not taking our eyes off of Him, which, oh my word, why do I do that to myself?
And I think that people sometimes think they have to have a wholesale change in behavior or be like a super Christian or, I mean, and people come to their faith in different ways, right? And people read their Bible in different ways and study it in different ways. But, you know, the story of the birth of Christ was about normal people.
Right.
There were shepherds just doing their shepherd thing, and Joseph and Mary were doing the thing they were supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
And just, they knew the baby was coming, but people were just living their lives. And then this miraculous thing happened.
Right.
The thing they'd been waiting for and hearing about.
Yeah.
And there it was. And so, I mean, amazing, miraculous things happen to normal people.
So true.
Maybe not to that extent, but sometimes I think a grand thing will happen. But I think for a lot of folks, finding those miracles in small things can be a good starting block, a good building block to restoring your faith or finding out what that looks like in practice.
Yeah. And I think, I mean, just to tag on to that, it's also being grateful and thankful for what the Lord has done in your life. It's remembering and reminding yourself the way that He's worked, and He has been faithful. Yeah. Right? Yeah. And it's like we do that in November around Thanksgiving, and then the rest of the year, we're like, meh, I don't remember.
Yeah. Well, and there were several Bible verses that you can go back and look them up. There was about half a dozen of them, I guess. But the question, I guess, I'm like, you know, what kind of came to me is, where is God in chaos? And again, there's always going to be, and there always has been. And then where is He in peace? And I guess for me, the answer is the same. He's always there. We just take our eye off the prize, and we don't trust that what He said He will do, because I think, again, it goes back to our human nature. You know, we want to think that we've got some sort of control over these things. I mean, just all the unrest that's going on. I mean, you can only do what you can do, which is be in prayer, be in the Word, and trust that God's got this.
And it's funny to me because as humans, we trust people that we don't know to do things in our life every day, like fly on a plane or, you know, go to the doctor or whatever. And yet we can't trust our Creator. Like the God of the universe.
To do what He said He was going to do.
To do what He said He was going to do.
I mean, we talked about that a couple months ago on the podcast. I'm like, how much trust do you put in somebody coming 60 miles an hour at you on the opposite direction of the freeway? Oh, gosh. I mean, talk about trust.
Yeah.
That's... Now I'm going to freak you all out because I brought it up, but you're exactly right. I mean, if we can trust mundane things, why can't we trust the Creator of the universe?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, so do you have anything else you want to...
I mean, I just really wanted to point out the one phrase that Steve said, that we are worshiping the problem when we have fear, worry, and anxiety. Yeah, I mean, I felt like truth bomb dropped in everybody's lap.
I think we all wrote that down. When you're not trusting God, you're worshiping the problem.
Yeah,
like,
yikes.
Ooh. Yeah, that was big.
Yeah.
So a question, where do you find rest when you're feeling overwhelmed or unpeaceful? And I think we all know the answer to that, but I would encourage you to go back and look at those verses because they're and, you know, read as much as you'd like to, obviously, but before and after. But I think that, you know, we're children of God, and we've been saved by faith. Right. And so we need to really, really embrace that and abide in that.
Yes, I so agree. And just what a comfort to know that the God of the universe cares so deeply about us. Yep. He sees us and loves us.
Just one little grain of sand.
I know, right?
Called DeVandis Smith.
And Kim Matson.
And Amanda's 6. Okay, so DeVandis usually closes the program by doing Space Ghost. we're not comfortable doing that because
We don't feel like we can do it justice without him here.
That's correct. So we're just going to give you a pleasant thanks for tuning in. Oh, and the number that showed up at the bottom at some point. You know, none of you have really participated in that.
Yeah, we would like,
free.
we want people to interact with
Yeah.
us. Yeah, call, text,
Yeah,
something.
yeah. Email.
Give a shout out.
Leave it in the comment box at church.
Right. Yeah. Something.
Anyway.
Show us some love.
Yeah. Thanks for being here this morning.
Thank
and
you.
we will see you next week.
Bye.